Hey Jacob. All right, so noticed the example that you sent over to me was the FCD 50-2, which is this one right here. And you had mentioned that it has cross sales and upsales listed in Magento, but does not show up on the website. So I went onto the front end of the site, noticed it says frequently bought with, and noticed that none of the other listings were actually up there, like you said. And so I went into the back end of Magento and looked up the part number. And from what I can tell, we only have upsales. So there's a couple different things that you got to remember is in this particular part number, this is a simple product. Simple product can only be viewed in the on the site via the search. We do have other products. So what you'll see here is visibility is actually take that back. It says it's only by catalog. It is still searchable though because that's how I found it. Um, so for example, I'm going to go ahead and pause this, but I will add to the storefront those variables. So actually, I was wrong when I looked at the front end of the site or the back end of the site. Uh, it looked like the upsale and cross sale were the only two that were not in there. And right now the site's re-indexing, but I did add the related products. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for that to re-index, and then we'll look at the front end of the site. Okay, so now it's on the front, or sorry, on the back end of the site, and we'll check to see if it's on the front end. Now you can see it's on the front end. So we've got related products frequently bought with. Um, if we need to change these texts, it's all based on a language translation tool in the back end of Magento, and I can adjust that based on. I got to put the site into a little different mode and then make those text changes after hours because the whole site kind of goes haywire and looks a little weird while I do it. But it's fairly simple to do. So if you want text changes, that's perfect. If we want to change um, which one we want to go, like if you want related products below or frequently bought products above, we can do that, or we can just change the text, and I can do it in the back end as well, and you can just understand that one is the other, and that it's just flip-flopped. So for example, if you are looking to make changes to, let's go back into filters because that's where we were kind of at before, I believe. I don't know your product lines, but I'm thinking you said it was an FC, it was an FD. I don't know the differences, but this is, so you reference FCD, this is an FD50. But in this particular case, if you wanted to add additional items above or below this, it's a little bit, I'm not sure exactly what will show up and how it'll look. But I think if we were to add these in, we possibly could get the related and the other ones down below. So I'd have to pick the correct item here. So we've got this part number, and I'm going to go ahead and reference this in the back end and add one and see if it shows up. So what you'll see here is I just added 3 items in here. The problem with doing it this way with a simple product is that on the front end, and I just checked this is a configurable product. You're going to find that the product will not show up in this location once you've made these selections because it's still on the configurable product. So what you'll see is if I go into this product itself now, you'll see the related and the frequently bought there. So in order for you to show related and frequently bought products on the front end of the site on a configurable product, so we'll go back a page. The only way to do that is to set it on the configurable product itself. So this is as follows. back out this way. And so this also, you had mentioned that cross sell only appears on certain products when viewing in the shopping cart. Same thing. So that is an issue with you're probably looking at a configurable product and then you're adding it in as a simple. So you'll want to make sure you identify the two ahead of time. So you've got your main, let's see here. You've got part numbers. What we're going to look for is, I'm going to go ahead and filter by attribute set. So actually it's type. So you have part number and you have phenolic product. So we're going to go ahead and apply that. So your phenolic product actually is the configurable product in this system. And so this is the one that we're seeing on the front end of the site. And what we'll see here is, I believe I'm going to go ahead and add in the items that we're talking about. And I'll remove these out because I don't know the differences of what product should actually be in there. That's where you guys come into play. Okay, these three are those are added into that configurable or phenolic product. We'll let it save. Then we're going to go ahead and refresh this page, and we should see them. They're down at the bottom down here. So we have the related and the frequently bought. My first thought in all of this is that the cross sale, the ones that show up on the cart, will not show up here unless they're on one of these items. Because when you add it into the cart, that's what shows up there. So it's going to be that specific item in the cart. And I believe I added one for this, so you should see the one on the sorry, in the cart, not in the checkout process. So it's not in there, but it can be added. So that specific item, you would have to add it in to show it down below, down here. All right. Last thing that you mentioned, so as you know, cross sale only shows with the simple products, or sorry, the product. What did you guys call it? You guys call it part number. So in your system, part number is the item that will show up on the cross sale area. Is there a way to do a test run website before publishing it? So no, when it comes to items like products and everything else, it's either in there or not. What I would say is I can create a development instance for you guys to be able to test that way. I do that the majority of my customers. I don't know if you have one or not, but I can send one over and give you the credentials if that's something you'd like. I will put that in an email to you. But other than that, hopefully that answers all your questions.